Good Sunday morning. We've already bounced back from these really chilly cold temperatures here compiled by the National Weather Service. Lows last night got down to the 12 to the about 16 or 17 degrees. Really chilly overnight. So just want to go over what's going to happen this week. Start off with the forecast of today. You can see that there was a high pressure system sitting over top of us last night, which finally calmed down the winds and dropped our temperatures so low. Moving forward, you can see we're staying clear. We do see a rebound in temperatures. So, these blue lines show us that there is colder heights up above. As this high pressure system moves off, it's going to pump in the southerly winds, and that's going to bring up our temperatures pretty significantly tomorrow and then into Tuesday. But Tuesday we also have some showers coming into the area, and then we'll see how much rain that happens. And that front moves through, which cools us down by Thursday. It's going to take a little bit of time to get the cool air to filter in here, so Wednesday should be pretty mild as well. Thursday much chillier. And we have this low pressure system, or this wave of energy along the front coming back through here, bringing in some moisture into that colder air. Maybe we start off some sleet and freezing rain. Now, the GFS model is very robust on bringing quite a bit of ice into the Northern Virginia area in our region. I am not sold on this. You see this low pressure system coming up here to the west of the mountains, and I didn't see a strong push for cold air damming. There is some there, and there's definitely some cold air stuck around. So some areas may see some of that. I'm not as convinced. We're going to show you I'm going to show you the output of this. But it's going to cool us down by next weekend. Next weekend looks like another cold weekend. Of course, cold on the weekends. And then we can maybe stay kind of chilly for a bit. And we'll have to see if any new storm systems can form next week. I'm not going to get out that much further than into the early part of the following week. Now, GFS tends to overdo it on ice, so here we're going to bring it out in the future. We're going to go out to Thursday into Friday here, and you see that, wow. So this is an ice forecast. This is a FRAM estimation. It's a type of weather model formulation of figuring out how much ice could happen, freezing rain, and sleet mixed, and it's showing quite a prolific amount of ice. Again, I think it's too far south, and it's going to end up being further north. We saw this a couple weeks ago. With a lot of people freaking out that there was going to be an ice situation here in Northern Virginia, and it did end up moving much further north. Even the National Weather Service, this is that one on that Friday, that they ended up having to cancel all advisories and everything, and nothing really materialized. I see a similar type of scenario here, where I think the warm air is going to win out because it's not going to be cold long enough in front of it. So if we did look at the freezing rain potential, this is just another icing outlook. I mean, this gets ridiculous when it comes to Friday. We're talking like an inch or an inch and a half of freezing rain. I just don't see it happening. GFS tends to overdo things. And just for comparison, we're bringing the European model here, and instead of going through the day-to-day maps, I can tell you that it definitely has the rain on Tuesday for us, and now I'm going into the future here, looking at the same freezing rain accumulation. You see that their prediction is much further north with their frozen precipitation. Still very significant ice storm. Got to also tell you that climatologically speaking, we don't tend to have ice storms later in February, although I did see some pictures even on my phone today that showed some that did happen. Can happen, but I just don't really feel like it's a big deal, especially if it falls during the day. It's not going to freeze much because the radiation will pull heat through the clouds even is pretty strong this time of year. So just not feeling an overall sense of a wintry setup. Just going to be chilly again after crazy warm temperatures happen early in the week. So let's see how crazy that warmth is. So we start off today. Today is pretty chilly. I mean, we're still in the 20s now, probably getting up at around freezing at this point. Temperatures will warm up today into the low 40s. Then tomorrow, because I said that southerly wind is going to come around, you can already see the warmer air down to our south. What's going to shoot north, and we're going to get up near 60 degrees here, very likely tomorrow. So quite the change, quite the contrast from what we see today. And then on Tuesday, we remain about the same because remember we have some clouds and some, wow, we're not getting that day 3 temperature to show. Well, you're going to have to trust me. This showed about the same amount of temperatures. But now we go into Wednesday, the day where we really warm up. And boom, here we go up in the mid-60s, maybe upper 60s on Wednesday, depending on how much sun we get. I can see 70 happening. Wouldn't be too far of a stretch. Then that front's going to come and start to filter in that colder air. The high's kind of pressing down from the north. As you see, the cold is really locked up pretty far away. So even though on Thursday we get a much cooler day, highs only in the 30s, where we have precipitation coming in here, I don't really see an icing situation really happening. And on Friday, again, we see temperatures are chilly, but they're actually warming up because remember that low is going to the west. Warm air is going to get kind of pulled in here. I think this is probably a little high just because we tend to stay colder just because of precipitation, and cold air damming will be there. It just won't be cold enough for it to be icy. So right now that looks like what's happening on Friday, and then the temperatures are going to drop again, of course, into next weekend. Highs on the upper 30s on Friday, probably up in the 40s on Sunday. And staying pretty chilly after that, as I saw in the models. That's pretty much it for the weekly outlook here for the next week. As I said, there is a chance of some icing as we get towards late in the week. The big notes from this week are going to be some precipitation. It looks like several days, so it's not going to be the driest week. But Monday looks dry. Wednesday looks dry. Wednesday looks pretty warm. Even Monday looks pretty warm. Wednesday looks very warm. Highs mid-60s. You want to take a long lunch break that day. Maybe some icing concerns Thursday into Friday, but I'm not really gung-ho on that idea. Hey, this has been your weekly outlook. I went into detail here because you're going to hear a lot about this ice. I have a feeling, again, I don't think it's going to be an overall big deal. Have a good one.